Tony Stewart tried to drop to the bottom. You saw Ryan Newman in the 12 blocked him there. White flag.
Money flag next.
Jimmie Johnson in the 48. He'll stay tucked to that yellow line all the way around this racetrack. He will not open the bottom.
That yellow line is his best friend. Just keep that car down low where they can't get under it. I don't think they've got the steam to do it.
Stewart looks low. He's got Gordon now up high. Gordon has Biffle. Jeff Gordon clawing his way toward the front.
Ryan Newman's
you in the 12. 12 jumped up top.
Jimmie's pulling away.
Yeah, you got those guys that Ryan had to block the 24 and gave Jimmie a little extra room there coming to the flag.
Jimmie Johnson wins the Budweiser Shootout in his third appearance, and he will take Hendrick Motorsports to victory lane in this event for the 5th time.
I'll tell you, that's a darn good race.
Yes, it was.
Newlyweds there. Jimmie Johnson's wife Chandra married this past December. Way to start the year off.
Darrell, I talked to Chad Knaus the other day, Jimmie Johnson's crew chief. He said, we worked hard on Daytona, but we didn't work real hard. We worked on all the other races. That could be bad for the competition.
I tell you, I think they got the steam on the hood. It looked to me like the 24 and the 48 both.
Johnson finished 7th in the shootout in 2003 and 9th last year. What a run he had at the end of 2004 to come within 8 points of winning the Nextel Cup.
That's Rick and Chad right there. And
here's Matt.
At the line this time, the white flag. 1 lap to go at Daytona.
It's Junior that's making the move. He didn't want to do it, he said, but he's going to the outside. Got to. It's a Daytona 500. He's got to try, at least try to win.
Meanwhile, Ryan Newman looked both sides of Johnson, nowhere to go. Stays in line.
This is what Johnson wants to see in his mirror, though. He wants to see those guys behind him, side by side.
Casey Mears runs 3rd.
Junior's losing positions as he tries to get on the outside. Tony Stewart has moved into 5th, 6th.
Here goes Ryan Newman. He's going to try the high side. Which way will Mears go? He'll hose this 12 car Ryan Newman.
Keep pedaling it, man. Keep pedaling.
That's a
clear by 4.
That's exactly crash behind him. Crash behind him. The caution is out. The race is over. Jimmie Johnson has won the Daytona 500.
You are my hero.
With his car owner watching here at the track and his crew chief watching at home, Jimmie Johnson wins his first Daytona 500 victory.
Sorry, not here, buddy, but you're behind us 100%, bud.
uh-oh, Mark Martin just...
Mark's in trouble.
Something
Mark's
happened to
got
Mark.
problems. White flag.
That's all he needed to see, Larry. He's on the pole for the 500. Get out of town.
I think you're right. I think he felt like it might get a little crazy here on this last lap, and Mark's usually pretty right.
This is going to be a crowded house. Here comes Harvick. Right up the back bumper of Jimmie Johnson.
And there goes Kyle Busch in the 18 car. Jumped to the high side. He gets blocked. He goes back to the bottom.
Jimmie Johnson doing what a whale of a job he's doing on those tires. Stayed out.
I think Boyer pushed Harvick right by him on the outside through 3 and 4.
Teammates. 2 Chevys helping each other.
Hey, have you ever seen this movie before?
Here comes Harvick.
Don't count Jimmie Johnson
Jimmie
out.
Johnson's fighting back.
Here they
It's not over yet.
Check
Who
that
is
flag
it?
in the air.
Jimmie Johnson. Johnson got it.
I mean,
by inch.
6/1000ths of a second.
That's what I said, an inch.
With no fresh tires on that race car.
Good call, Chad Knaus.
Unofficially for the transfer spot.
Way to go. I didn't know it was over. I was still going.
How close do you want it?
Harvick trying to get that side draft off of him.
And he actually sucked Jimmie Johnson around. You can see the back of the car swing around just a tad, but he made it.
Wow. What great camera work. What a finish. Right there.
There's the difference.
Instead of Harvick by inches, it's Johnson by inches. Now, further back at 14th, Michael McDowell. High side is Bodine. Got into the wall. Max Pappas makes the pass. Can he hold on for the last transfer spot? Bodine comes back on the outside, but runs out of room. Max Pappas is in the Daytona 500.
Oh, you're talking about a happy guy. Wait till you interview him.
But I'm going to tell you what, guys. Michael McDowell in that 55 car unsponsored makes the Daytona
Look at
500.
Booty Barker. That's Max Pappas' crew chief. Oh, cool hand Luke there.
Go now or finish second.
When we cross the start-finish line, it's a race. And oh, by the way, it's not over. It's just now on.
Daryl, keep an eye on Daryl.
Oh, car in the wall, hard. Turn one. And it's one of the BK cars. It's the 93 of Travis Quapple. No caution. NASCAR, if the track is clear, they will let them finish. We are still green. And here come the leaders.
Yeah, Mark Martin is really pushing Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 88.
Junior to the inside of Greg Biffle. The green flag still flies. Martin's number 55. Keselowski in the 2. Biffle backing up. Patrick behind him. For the second time, the Daytona 500 goes to Jimmie Johnson, 5-time champion from El Cajon, California, and his Rick Hendricks Chevrolet.
He could thank Dale Jr. for that. Second year in a row, Dale Jr. has come on late and finished second.
Danica Patrick, the pole sitter, becomes the highest finishing woman in the Daytona 500, 8th.
They were coming at her from every side. I mean, front, backs, left, right.
That group is a happy group, and he's a happy man. Not only because they won this race, since he won it in 2006, his average finish in the 500 outside the top 30.
And the reason we called it Mr. Lonely.
God, man, that's awesome.
You gotta get wide. White flag is out. Next flag will decide it. Wow. Tony Stewart feeling good. And how about Kurt Busch in that outside lane with help from David Gilmour?
Oh, here we go.
We got trouble.
There we go. That's it. Like I said, you lead at the white.
That's it.
You're good to go. But they may
No
race to the
caution yet.
finish.
They're
Yep.
going to let them race back here. That happened over in turn 2, so they got plenty of room.
All right, let them race, boys.
Hopefully they're cleared when they get back down there.
Tony Stewart won this race last year. He's won it 4
29,
times.
shoving the 14. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but
Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Off the corner, here comes Jimmie Johnson. He's dominated the race. Now he can see the finish line. That's Busch in the outside lane, not making a move.
Oh,
trouble behind him.
Danica.
Danica and others. Jimmie Johnson gets the win at Daytona.
Yeah, she got turned right there.
that was a dominating performance by the 48
Yes,
team
it
tonight.
was.
Let's see.
Guys, thank you. Awesome.
That's another race. The last 3 or 4 races, and I know people get tired of hearing us talk about him, but the last 3 or 4 races, he's dominated these races. Yeah. He's not just won them. He has, and he's lost some of them, just like last week at Kentucky, but he dominated that race.
You think about Pocono, where he did win, Dover, where he didn't get the victory, black flag late, certainly last week, as you mentioned, at Kentucky, and here tonight, leading 93 of 161 laps. You saw the machine of Kyle Busch parked on track, and there he goes, the long walk back toward the garage.
Coming to the white flag if we stay green at the white, and we will. The next flag will end the race. 1 lap to go. Patrick battling David Reagan for the bubble. One of them will make the Daytona 500. The other will likely go home.
And she's got her teammate Kurt Busch in that 41 car right up there behind her.
It's go time. It's all or nothing right now. You either in or you out.
Jimmie Johnson trying to drive all 3 lanes at once to hold back the Joe Gibbs cars of Kyle Busch and the number 19 of Carl Edwards.
It's going to be hard to block them both, but I don't know if they can get close enough to me. It may even make it matter.
Reagan on the bubble, Stenhouse, Hamlin, Jimmie Johnson for the win. The Gibbs cars can't catch him, and the last transfer spot, Stenhouse.
And how about Danica Patrick unofficially finishing in the 10th position? Her and David Reagan, classic example, never give up.
I wouldn't have given you a plug nickel for that 10 car when it was spinning.
Patrick 10th, David Reagan 14th at the finish. ahead of Austin Dillon and Ricky Stenhouse.
I tell you what, that Danica, David Reagan, I mean, that's two great finishes right there. And look at the
David Gilliland, 13th.
Yes,
he
sir.
will be in the Daytona 500. Mike Wallace, we talked about him early in the show, and he is 9th at the finish.
How about Reed Sorensen in that 44 car? Finished 6th. When he wrecked on Sunday, he didn't even know if he was going to have a car to run this duel.
You gotta
they
love
didn't have
that.
a backup car.
You got to love that, guys. You got to love
6th
that.
place. Justin Allgaier has raced his way in, finishing 8th for Harry Scott's team. And rookie Ryan Blaney for the Wood brothers. Glenn Wood's been coming here since 1947, and he'll see his number 21 in the 500 Sunday. 7th place for Blaney.
Nice, clean car. No damage anywhere. No wheel marks. Great job by that. Well,
Oh, Jimmie going to
Whoa,
take.
no, Jimmie!
Contact.
And around goes Menard into the wall, taking cars with him.
Come on, high. Clear, clear, clear. All clear.
Big wreck.
You got it.
Well, I'm just wondering, did that suck the back end of the car around on Menard, or did they make contact that turned him around?
When the 48 gets on your bumper like that, it probably had something to do with it.
4 cars were out in front of that melee.
My.
Make that 6. And everybody else got a piece of it.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at it, and we'll determine how that happened.
First, we're going to ride with Kurt Busch. Now, he is behind Jimmie Johnson's number 48.
Jimmie just got a run. Went to side draft the left rear of the 21 of Paul Menard. I don't know if Paul came down a little bit, but they got too close and hit.
Paul never moved. It looked like it sucked Jimmie into him. I think he made a miscalculation there.
Yeah, Menard comes off the wall a little bit. It just you know, a misjudgment.
Yeah.
And made contact, turned him around.
Look at all. I mean, look at that. That's a wad of wrecked race cars.
That's the world's fastest wrecking yard right there.
Oh my gosh, Mike. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that.
Look at Alex Bowman in the 88. Hard on the brakes. He's going to get through this. I'm not sure how, but he did.
Well, he's the only one.
Mother Nature said, I've seen enough.
And the sky is crying once again.
Yeah.
So the track drying equipment goes back out to turn 1 yet again.
And this rain here is falling a little heavier than what we've seen so far.
Yeah, this is pretty hard shower right here.
I'm not sure that I saw Paul Menard start to come down the racetrack until after he had the contact from Jimmie Johnson, which tipped his car in that direction.
These spoilers are a little bit wider than they were a year ago. And when you widen that spoiler out just a little bit, it creates a little more suction or pulling of the car. So I don't know if when Jimmie Johnson stepped out, if it pulled the back of the car around of Paul Menard, or if he just wanted to come off the wall to try to slow his momentum down. But it was clear that Jimmie tried to get as close to him as possible to side draft, and that made the contact.
Yeah, I just think Jimmie misjudged that. He got in the left rear of Paul Menard and turned him around.
We're going to hear some audio from Paul Menard's team.
What happened? Have any idea what happened? Yeah, they're showing it again. I'll have to watch it again. I think, yeah, we zagged and he zigged. I mean, they were going for the same space.
They're going to pull the cars down pit road. There are 8 cars behind the pace car, still running with no or minimal damage. Kurt Busch got through unscathed. So did Joey Logano. A little bit on Ryan Blaney's. Alex Bowman's car, we saw the nudge he got to the nose. Chase Elliott still running. Austin Dillon pretty well crumpled up, and it looked like Eric Almirola missed most of it. So, yeah, usually we have a graphic of cars involved in wreck. We're going to do it the other way around.
Oh, there's 3 cars that were not involved.
Kurt Busch was in exactly the right spot, because when Johnson tipped the 21 and sent Menard to the inside, that just opened up nothing but daylight in front of Kurt Busch.
Well, walking into victory lane isn't exactly what Jimmie Johnson had in mind when he was hoping to win the Clash today, but victory lane is victory lane. Congratulations. You won the Clash. How's it feel to be back in victory lane?
It feels good. Don't let this race car run you over on its way in. Just really happy about, obviously a great day for Hendrick Motorsports, for Chevrolet, for Ally coming on board and qualifying third for the Daytona 500, and then to win the Clash. Kevin Meendering leading this team. There's been a lot of new things going on. I'm extremely excited to win. I want to say hello to my family back home, especially Lydia. She's been wanting Daddy to win pretty bad, so it's not a points race, but it's a good start.
There's so much talk about the split between you and Chad. The irony of Chad winning the pole with William Byron today and you winning the race with your new crew chief, Kevin Meendering. I think the two of you might be okay, without one another.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't thought about that exactly, but I did mention to Chad that he was able to win me my first pole here for the 500 and did the same for William. Really happy for those guys. But this group of Ally team members I have behind me, these guys have been working so hard, and we're off to a great start this year.
Congratulations. Jimmie Johnson back in victory lane. He's won the Clash at Daytona.